Welcome to today's deep dive. Imagine trying to pour like the entire Pacific Ocean into a single delicate porcelain teacup. It would just instantly shatter.
Oh, completely. You
Yeah.
wouldn't even stand a chance. And that is essentially the core paradox we are looking at today.
Exactly, because we are unpacking chapter 28 of a seriously dense Kabbalistic text, Klach, Pitchei, Chochma. And the mission here is to figure out how an infinite, boundless force interacts with our strictly finite world without just, well, destroying it.
Right. And the text visualizes this whole problem with a very specific image.
Mm.
So there's this thing called the line of Ein Sof, which is the infinite light.
Mm.
And it enters into what they call the residue.
The residue, which is what? Basically just an empty space?
Yeah, exactly. It is essentially an empty space or a finite vessel.
Okay, so that brings us right back to the ocean and the teacup. Because if infinite energy just floods into a finite space, the space breaks. It is like, I don't know, plugging your laptop directly into a high voltage power line. You fry the motherboard.
Yeah, you absolutely need a transformer to step down that voltage.
Right. So does this infinite light have like a cosmic transformer?
Well, the teacup and the power line get us halfway there, but unlike water or, electricity, this light actually has a will of its own. The text says the line must deliberately accommodate itself to the residue.
Wait, so it intentionally holds back?
Exactly. It intentionally conceals its true infinite power. And by holding back, it basically creates two distinct modes of reality for us.
Okay, what are those modes?
So there's the manifest reality we experience every single day, which the text calls the rule of good and evil. That is where things feel, separate and conflicted. But hidden right beneath that is a concealed mode, the rule of unity.
But wait, if it is hiding its power to that extent, how does it actually interact with the vessel at all? I mean, does it just sit there in a weakened state?
No, it actually splits its influence. So
No.
to avoid breaking the vessel, only a tiny, tiny fraction actually enters. And that is what we call the inner light.
Okay, so just a fraction gets in. What happens to the round of it?
The vast majority, the encompassing light, stays completely outside. It basically just hovers around the vessel, acting as the ultimate cause and the unrevealed goal of everything happening inside.
Wow. That reminds me of that striking line the text mentions from the Zohar. It describes the divine as being inside every Sefaria and outside every Sefaria.
Right, a Sephira being a channel or an attribute of divine energy in Kabbalah.
Yeah, and it warns that our human understanding of this inner light is really just a drop in the ocean. But if this massive infinite light is just hovering outside, does it stay totally detached? Like, does it exert a gravitational pull or something?
Oh, it absolutely pulls at it.
Yeah.
And this is honestly where it stops being abstract physics and becomes the architecture of your own soul.
Wait, my soul.
Yeah. The text maps this whole cosmic structure directly onto human existence. It breaks the soul down into 5 distinct levels.
Okay, I am fascinated. How does a step-down cosmic power line translate into human consciousness?
Well, that tiny fraction we talked about, the inner light that we actually internalized, that corresponds to the first 3 levels of the soul. So there's the nefesh.
Which is our basic animal vitality.
Exactly.
Yep.
Then the ruach, which is our emotional drive, and the neshama, our intellect. These are basically clothed in the physical and mental vessels we use every single day.
So those 3 are our conscious self, like the parts of our mind and body we actively feel and use.
Yes, but remember that massive encompassing light hovering outside. That correlates to the 2 highest levels of your soul, the chaya and yachita.
And those represent our transcendent spiritual essence, correct?
Right. The text argues that your conscious efforts, your daily thoughts, those are just the vessel. Reaching toward that external encompassing light, basically connecting with that ultimate perfection outside yourself, that is the true goal of human service.
And hang on, though. If the text literally just warned us that the vessel shatters if the infinite comes in, isn't reaching for that encompassing light incredibly dangerous?
It sounds like it, yeah.
Right. Like, how do you connect with something that could fry your motherboard?
Well, that is the ultimate tension of the text.
Yeah.
You do not pull the encompassing light into the vessel. You align the vessel to it.
Ah, okay. So it is about alignment, not absorption.
Exactly. It requires extreme humility. You have to navigate the world with the drop that fits in your teacup. But you also have to recognize that the perfection you can actually comprehend is just the smallest fraction of what is really out there shaping your reality.
That is wild. We operate using the inner light, but the encompassing light holds the true perfection, which, leaves you with this. If your entire conscious awareness, your vitality, your emotions, your intellect is merely the inner light, just a single drop in the teacup, how much of your daily reality is being secretly shaped by the massive encompassing light hovering just outside your perception?